Okay, guys, let me block our here for me. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's training call. This is Rob Pottles, and we are covering tonight how to gain a positive decision as part of that cycle of duplication, part of the process, and how to gain a positive decision. So buckle in, get out your notes. We're going to post this onto the Facebook community afterwards so it can be replayed for your team and people who were not able to attend tonight, but also for you to have the opportunity to re-listen to it. There's plenty nuggets that are in each and every one of these trainings, and I can let you know that oftentimes I found myself listening to something for the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time, and each time, the fourth, the fifth time, hearing something that I didn't really hear the 4 times prior. Just finding that extra nugget, that extra word, the proper way to say something that makes all the difference. And so I encourage people to re-listen to these trainings because just by going through it one time will likely not make you a master. And so each time you listen to them, you'll be sharpening your blade, you'll be sharpening the axe. I believe that practice makes improvement. I don't know anyone that I've ever met in life that I consider to be perfect, but practice will certainly make improvement. And the more you hear it, the more you play it, the more you go through it, just a little bit better you'll become at it. Okay, so let's get started tonight, guys. This is gain a positive decision. After you introduce your business to others, your next step is to determine whether they're open to learning more. For those that have an interest, your goal will be to take them through a logical belief-building process to the point where they make a positive decision to join you and your business. The more effective you are at leading them through this process, the more people you will add to your team. The days of using the salesman selling tactics to close people to purchase a product or join a business are over. Gaining positive decisions is about treating people with respect and courtesy. Today, people do business with people they like, trust, and believe can help them with their needs. Another important factor to remember is that you're looking for business partners with whom you will work for many years. This business is about finding the right people who truly have a need or desire or the benefits offered by the company and then working together in a win-win relationship. There's 3 tests for you. Your success in getting positive decisions from your prospects and business partners will be primarily based on the following. First, how successful you've been at building a relationship with them. The more people connect with you, the more likely they are to want to do business with you. So important. Absolutely critical. Second, how effective have you been in identifying their needs and desires and helping them understand how your business can help them accomplish those things? Third, how perceptive you have been at pinpointing what they need to know in order to make a positive decision and then provide them with that information. If you follow these 3 simple principles, you will find that getting a positive decision will be comfortable and uncomplicated. I'm going to repeat that for you again. If you follow these 3 simple principles, you will find that getting a positive decision will be comfortable and uncomplicated. There's 5-step formula to gain a positive decision. 5 steps. This is a clear-cut and proven formula for gaining positive decisions that produces the best results. It is also comfortable, time efficient, and a very logical process. Number 1, strengthen relationships with prospective business partners. What do you believe, if I asked you a question, what do you believe is the number one factor in people's decision to start their own business with your company? Is it your company? Is it the product? Is it your training and support? Is it the company's management team? Is it your sales tools? The answer? None of the above. It is you. It is you. Y-O-U. If people don't feel a connection with you, it doesn't matter how good your business is, they will not join. And if they do join, they will bypass you and work directly with one of the other business partners with whom they feel a connection. So true. This business is all about relationships. Building meaningful relationships are not only necessary for people to choose to work with you, but they are also the glue that holds your business together. If you treat people as friends rather than objects from which you will earn a profit, you will be much more successful. If you treat people as friends rather than objects from which you will earn a profit, you will be much more successful. Number 2, identify people's reasons for considering your business. By understanding why people have an interest in your business, you can customize your presentation and your comments so that you can show them how to achieve their goals. If it is not obvious from your conversations why they are considering your business, just ask a simple question like, Terry, why would you consider doing a business such as this? Encourage them to talk about their needs, their desires, and concerns that your business may help them address. Have them elaborate on each point and listen carefully. Often there's a list of reasons, and you want to make sure that you understand each of their top reasons. Here's an example. Susan wants a college fund. Suppose you have a prospect by the name of Sue who is considering starting her own business. She wants to start building a college fund for 2 children. Now you know her number 1 reason for looking at your business, because most of the time, the first reason people give is their top reason. Compliment her for going the extra mile to help ensure a good education for her children. Then show an interest in her children by asking about them. She'll gladly share because, like all parents, she's proud of her children. After discussing the importance of saving money for her children's college fund, ask her what other goals she would like to accomplish by starting her own business. As she shares her key motivating factors one at a time. Write them down. Be intentional about getting her to talk about these points in a way that gets her excited about them. The more passionate your prospects are about achieving the things that are important to them, the more likely they will be to join your business. Another benefit that comes from showing an interest in the things that are important to people is that it strengthens your relationships. Number 3, determine what your prospective business partners need to know about the business in order to make a decision. So we have to determine what they need to know in order to make a decision. By understanding exactly what a person needs to know in order to make a decision, you can then focus your time discussing those things rather than guessing what they need to know. Here are some possible questions to ask. Susan, based on the information that you have reviewed, what else do you need to know? Ron, based on the information that you've reviewed so far, what else do you need to know in order to make a decision as to whether this is something you would have an interest in pursuing? Pam, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rank your level of interest right now? If Pam says an 8 or above, then simply say, Pam, if your interest level is an 8 or above, then you're probably ready to get started. The only way you will reach a 10 is when you begin building your business and start seeing results. Do you feel there's something you still need to know, or would you like me to explain your next step? If Pam says her interest is a 6 or a 7, you can ask, what is it you don't know or understand, but if you did, could increase your interest level? If Pam says her interest is a 6 or a 7, you would ask, what is it you don't know or understand, but if you did, it could increase your interest level? If Pam tells you her interest is less than a 5, you're probably wasting your time, assuming that she was properly introduced to the business. Remember, we're looking for the 8s, 9s, and 10s. No convincing, no selling. When people tell you what else they need to know, understand that oftentimes there's one more thing they need to know. As an example, if Pam said she needs to know more about the company, ask, Pam, other than learning more about the company, is there anything else you'd need to know? If she says she would need to know more about the compensation plan, then say, I would be very happy to help you understand any aspect of the compensation plan that is important to you. Pam, other than learning more about the company and the compensation plan, is there anything else on your mind that you feel you need to learn more about? Then continue this process until you have identified each of the points that are important to her. The reason you want to understand the issues on her mind is because only then can you address them. You also want to make sure that you're being productive with your time by talking about the points that are ultimately leading to a positive decision and not wasting your time discussing information that's totally not necessary. Number 4, provide the information in a positive, helpful manner. After learning what your your prospective business partners still think they need to know to make a decision, spend your time talking only about those points. Ask good questions and listen closely. Do not talk too much. Be sure to address their questions and or concerns, and be careful not to address concerns they don't even have. Before addressing the points they have told you are important to them, make sure you are crystal clear on exactly what they really need to know. As an example, if Pam says she needs to know more about the company, then before rambling on about the company, ask her what she feels she needs to know about the company. Her answer may be as simple as, what's the experience of the executive management team? By identifying exactly what she needs to know, you can then focus on addressing the specific point that's on her mind. So the first thing to do is understand the big picture of what people feel they need to learn about your business. After identifying all of their questions or concerns, go over each point one at a time, and as you do, get specific with precisely what they need to know. As you go through each point and moving on to the next point, ask if your response answered their question. Make sure they're comfortable with your response. Once you've addressed a point to their satisfaction, continue until each point has been discussed to their satisfaction. Remember, all of your conversations focus on what is important to your prospects. Try to avoid talking about yourself. This is not about you. It's about them. Number 5, ask for a decision. When you are successful in building your prospects' belief and confidence in your business and their ability to succeed, they will generally be ready to get started. Sometimes they will tell you they're ready to get started. Sometimes they will need to ask for a decision. You will need to ask for the decision. When asking for a decision, be sensitive and perceptive. Be aware of the signals your prospect is sending to you. If you sense someone is not prepared to make a decision, do not push it. Nobody likes to be pushed. Nobody likes to be closed. When people are not ready to make a decision, something is holding them back, and you need to identify what it is. On the other hand, if you're talking with someone who is positive about your business, you need to ask for a decision. Here's a couple questions you can ask people who are interested. Hey, Pam, now that you've talked about each of the things you wanted to learn more about, would you like to know your next step? Hey, Pam, now that we've talked about each of the items, each of the things you wanted to learn more about, would you like to know your next step? Sue, based on the information you've reviewed to this point, is there anything else you need to know before I explain to you how to get started? Sue, based on the information you've reviewed to this point, is there anything else you need to know before I explain to you how to get started? When people are ready to learn the actual steps to getting started with your company, walk them through the process and the cost to get started. You will want to get people started in the business the same way you got started. Once you explain to people how to get started with your company, then you will want to ask for the final decision to get started. Here are some examples, simple examples, of what you could say. Mark, I'm really looking forward to working with you. I feel that we can build a successful business together. I understand your goals, and I believe that we can accomplish them by working together. In fact, I would really enjoy helping you achieve them. Is there anything else you need to know before we get started, or are you ready to go? If there's still something he needs to know, discuss it and then ask him if he's ready to get started. Tara, we've got a great team of people who are going to be very supportive and helpful to you. I'm confident that together we can help you accomplish your goals. Is there anything else you think you need to know, or are you ready to get started? Peter, I really think we would have a lot of fun building this business together. If we were to team up together, what would you expect from me as your sponsor? If you're comfortable with his response, reach out, shake his hand, and say, you can count on me. I look forward to working with you. If he responds by saying he's looking forward to working with you, you can safely assume he's ready to get started. Pull out your phone, go to the J Mobile app, and start to fill it out. When asking for a decision, if you sense some hesitation, continue with a little gentle probing. You might ask, hey, Mark, I can tell that you're excited, but at the same time, I sense there's something holding you back. Is there still something unresolved in your mind? If there is something, ask him if he would be open to discussing it with you. Some people will be reluctant to share what's holding them back. It may be that they are questioning whether they will have the adequate time. It may be that they are questioning whether they think they can really be successful. They may be wondering how supportive their spouse is going to be. It could be any one of 50 different things that have nothing to do with you or your business. When there's something holding people back, carefully identify what it is so you can discuss it with them. As an example, when people question their own skills and abilities, they generally won't volunteer this information. However, if you treat them like a friend and ask them what's on their mind, they will generally tell you what's holding them back. By taking your time to learn more about the hidden concerns, you will often be able to help them work through whatever it is that is holding them back. If you don't identify people's hidden concerns, you can't help them. And even worse, you won't know why they aren't making a positive decision. Next, build belief. If you are not successful in gaining positive decisions for any reason, then you need to continue to build people's belief in themselves and your business. Keep in mind that for most people, their greatest reservation is their lack of self-confidence. Since building a business is something they may not have done before, it is natural for them to have reservations about their ability to build a successful business. Knowing this, continue to say things that will build their confidence and the ability to be successful. Look for the positive attributes in people and tell them why you believe they can be successful in this business. The more convinced you sound when building their confidence, the more confident they will become and the more likely they will be to join your business. Remember, belief is the foundation of all activity. Belief. Options for building belief. When you've completed the first 5 steps to gaining a positive decision, but yet your prospect is not ready to get started, you have several ways you can continue building their belief. 1, set up a time to get together for a one-on-one belief-building session. If your discussions to this point were over the phone, invite them to a private business reception if one is available, a local meeting. Urge them to watch an online video. Email them, text them. Have them join in on the next conference call or webinar that the company has. Tonight, there was an opportunity call. Tuesday night is the webinar. Sunday night live, our team call. Plug them into one of those belief-building tools to help out. Next, set up a time to get together with one of your business partners for a 2-on-1 belief-building session. Next, invite them to attend a local event with you if one's available. Next, ask them to review another one of your company's tools or samples, product samples. Next, arrange a 3-way call with one of your upline business partners, a private call. It's a private, not something that they feel threatened about. Just say, listen, I know that you have some questions. I'd love to connect you with somebody I think that you could relate pretty well to. If you're dealing with a nurse, try and connect them with a nurse. If you're dealing with an accountant, try and connect them with an accountant. If you're dealing with a fitness professional, try and get them to deal with somebody like that. Let's try to tag them up, team them up with someone that could be a very resourceful 3-way phone call. Finally, request that they review your website and set up a time to talk again. Or review the tool, review the video. Knowing your next step is a critical part of this belief-building process. Whatever you do, you must schedule the next appointment. If at any time you do not have an appointment to talk again, you will lose momentum, and your chances of getting a positive decision will drastically be reduced. Always schedule the next appointment within 48 hours. You've heard me discuss that in the previous trainings. Always schedule the next appointment within 48 hours. Remember, this is a business of momentum, and you don't want to get this far down the road with people and lose your momentum. If you set a firm appointment to either talk by phone or in person, then your prospect knows the next step, and you know the next step. And ideally, your prospect will be prepared for your next conversation. Next, be prepared. When you have an appointment to meet someone, it is very important that you're prepared for that meeting. Here are some items that you should carry with you to each meeting. If necessary, put these things in a tote bag, put them in a briefcase, keep them in your car so that you're always prepared. I always take my kit, my sales marketing kit, your presentation book. You'd always want to have your smartphone with you, or a tablet, if you have a tablet, or a laptop. Companies' printed business materials. If you take your sales kit, all those materials will be in there. Take a copy of the training program, the Getting Started Guide, the game plan, and anything else recommended by your upline, anything that the team is actually using. If the company's running a contest or a promotion, an incentive, right now they are. There's free boxes of Instantly Ageless. There's the incentive trips. Have that stuff printed off and take it with you to show the promotions and the incentives that are going on right now. That's the reason to join now. When people are getting ready to get started, take out your phone right in front of you. Ask them a question. Where would you like your check mailed to, your home or your business? Begin filling out the section right on your phone. And when you're done, request that they approve it by just accepting it. Always, always, always fill out the application or information on their behalf. I'm going to repeat that. It's critical. When it's ready to do the enrollment, always fill out the information on your device for them. It's so much smoother. If I know somebody, for example, is Steve, and I'm referring to them as Steve, I can't assume that that's how his check is supposed to come. So I say, Steve, what is your legal name? How does your check get written? Is it going to be to Stephen, Steven, Stephen? Is it Steve? What is your legal name? Fantastic. And your last name. Make sure I'm spelling it correctly. And what is your shipping address? And you literally go through the process right on your device, walking them straight down and then getting them the okay. So always do it on their behalf. Rather than asking them to fill out a form or handing them a device or sending them to a link that they're totally unfamiliar with. And even though they have every intention to sign up, they're still questioning, am I going to get billed on the Easy Ship now? Or am I only getting billed on the startup package now because I'm clicking in Easy Ship now? When people are confused, they shut down. It delays the whole process. Finally, wrap up. The one thing that stands between the prospects on your list and their long-term success in your business is this: their belief that their time spent in eager pursuit of your business, utilizing the strategies and principles taught by us, will cause them to get more than they might get by directing those hours in any other business effort. That's your job. I'm going to repeat that. Their belief that their time spent in eager pursuit of your business, utilizing the strategies and principles we teach, will cause them to get more than they might get by directing those hours in any other business effort. That is your job. One of the most unique benefits of the network marketing business model is the fact that anyone can build a successful business if they will apply themselves and commit to growing and developing each day. Remember, building a successful business is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's not get rich quick. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. If you will work with your business diligently over the next 36 to 60 months, focusing on constant and never-ending improvement, you can enjoy a quality of life that very few people are fortunate enough to enjoy. Tomorrow night, we go over the next step, and that is how to get your new distributors started. How to get your new distributors started. That's going to be on Friday night. That was how to gain a positive decision from your business partners. I am going to open up our lines as we made fantastic time tonight because it's only 10:37 and we started at 10:03. All right. So let me unlock you guys here so we can chat a little bit, answer any questions, open up the lines. Hang on for me. All right, everybody. We're all back together. All right. Any questions?
Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
This is Rob. Who's that?
That's Trish.
Trish.
From New York.
Hi,
How are you?
Trish from New York. Good.
That was excellent, Rob. Thank you once again for rockstar presentation, and I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Anybody else out there? Any questions you have? Anybody that hasn't spoken before, we'd love to hear from you. Anybody that's spoken before, you're always welcome to chime in too, of course. Anybody else?
Hey, Rob, this is Sharon.
Yes. Hey, Sharon.
In the beginning tonight, you were giving the 3 principles, okay? And the third one I didn't get as clearly as I would have liked. Would you repeat that?
Yes. So there was 3 tests for them, and the third is how perceptive you've been at pinpointing what they need to know in order to make a positive decision and then providing them with that information.
Okay. I can see that the skill that we're developing is actually these 3 principles and pinpointing. The clearer we are in being able to pinpoint that, and then we can move forward from there. So this is awesome. I hope that these scripts are available because word for word what you said was amazing. Thank you.
Oh, they are. Everybody that attended the calls, I will make sure that on, I'm going to say Monday, I'll have scripts for everybody. I'll have scripts for everybody come Monday. Monday we will do a call because when I started this week, I started with the invitation process, the invite. And that's because I really was just wanting to get in and wanted to see what the attendance would be like and see if I did a boot camp type of session and we ran it over 5 days. I wanted to cover a certain amount of material over those 5 days to see if it would actually hold the attention of the leadership, see if it would actually have value and see what the content would be like. Really, the very first step is starting your business. When you start, what do you need to do as a new person when you start? Tomorrow, we're going to go over how to get your new distributor started. Monday, we're going to cover how to start when you start. What should you do when you start? Now, I know that sounds like you're going over, but you'll see it's 2 complete separate chapters with 2 complete separate agendas. So you getting started when you start and then getting your distributor started, moving your downline when they actually get started. Because the things that you need to do, there's a whole chapter of when a brand new person, when you first start, of the things that you would do, that you need to do. So we're going to finish on Monday. We will have completed the entire duplication system, and I'll make sure that you have every single part of it in a Word document.
You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't tell you, I feel it's like there are tears here because in 15 years of network marketing, short of some training with Tim Sales and Eric Worre and Todd Falcone, I've never heard such a concise, crystal clear way to go from A to Z. I can't tell you how grateful I am.
Thank you. And that's because my mentor was Mr. Todd Smith, and when he actually came out with his program, he had already made $20 million in the business as a distributor. And he just put together the basic building blocks and the principles of what a distributor needs to do in order to not just do what works, but do what's going to duplicate. And so the whole thing that he wanted to teach, the whole thing that he wanted to get behind is to get it to duplicate, because there's plenty of people out here to get their business to work, But it only works to a certain depth. It only works so deep. It only works so far. It only builds so big. And then it feels like it hits a brick wall. It has nothing to do whether you have cream, whether you have juice, whether you have shake, whether you have magnetic bracelets. That's regardless. It doesn't matter. You only get so far, and then that's it. It just seems like that's it. And so these principles are exactly the truth. And when they're taught properly, people feel good. They understand. They don't feel shady or quirky, or they don't feel awkward. They just feel like it flows. They feel good. People, when you present it to them that way, they don't feel awkward. They're comfortable. Everybody respects it. I'll tell you, I have been in the space for 28 years. I know Eric and many of the other people that are out there, and they're fantastic. But very few have I ever seen training that could take a new distributor and do what this will do with a brand new distributor. Because if you teach them this, I believe that you will build the biggest organizations. I truly do. That's how much I believe. Because I said the other night, I think that the very one segment of this whole program, just the invitation alone, I believe teaching people how to properly invite, just that part, that component, that's worth thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars if people just went and got good at that one part. I don't even think you could put a price on that part.
No, it was awesome.
So, who else? Anybody else? I don't know if West is still on or if he's bebopping around there, over there, wherever he is.
To drop my daughter off for her vacation, but I can't talk very long. But I just this was amazing what you're doing, and the fact that you were talking about not talking your prospect out of joining. I love that. We have to say the right things and shut up when you're supposed to shut up.
Absolutely.
What you had to say in there was precise, and so many people to this day still get so excited they keep on talking, and boom, next thing you know, their prospect is like, well, you know what I mean. So anyway,
Absolutely.
I just wanted to thank you so much for going over that. And do you have our attention? Oh my God, you got to be kidding me! I can't imagine anybody not being on this line right now listening to this.
Well, I had somebody tell me that, because I was already stressed that I wanted to get this in a series. In other words, it's just like the program says. When do you want to follow up? Within 48 hours. 48 hours. I don't want to give you a piece of this week, wait a whole week, cover another piece, wait a whole week. I'll be a month and a half to get you this information. A month and a half to get you this information. So, and I had somebody tell me, well, probably shouldn't do a call on Friday. I was like, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it on Friday. Yeah, I would personally rather be out with friends, enjoying a dinner, doing something fun, but I'm going to be on this call because I know the value of what this call means to the organization, to the field, to each distributor, the new ones that are just now joining, and the people that have been here for a few months. I know what it's going to do for your business. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to skip Friday.
You know how good this was after we were done last night? You know how long I stayed on the phone with Sweden? An hour and a half, talking about how good your training has been. I sent him the first one, then sent him the second one, and by the time we were probably 30 minutes into a conference, the third one showed up. They are on fire. They are so happy that you're doing this. Yeah, it was great. Thanks a lot, Rob.
Awesome, guys. I don't know if West, if you're there. West, I'm going to call it a night here. That's all right. If anybody else has any questions. Hey, West.
Rob Pottles, you know I'm here, brother. How are you?
We're hanging in there, my man.
You know what? I'm so doggone excited. I have picked up so many nuggets of gold with your training program. I have altered my entire week, Rob, just to be with you. And I'm going to alter my Friday night to be with you and help you personally build your team. And you know what? I feel like I just need to write you a check and just mail you a check. I mean, this is some good stuff. And I think everybody that's on this training call tonight, and we're taking notes, I know who's here. I think you guys need to get somebody else on this call tomorrow night and listen in. Because, see, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. And, Rob, I thank you so much for delivering so eloquently all of these steps and procedures because everything fits. And, you know, when the day's said and done, it's common sense. It's just common sense. And when you put these steps and common sense together, you can turn it into relationships, and relationships turn into money. And, Rob, thanks again for everything you're doing.
Absolutely. And when you want to mail that check, it goes to 17 L. Ray.
Attaboy.
Hey, love you, brother. And you know what, Rob? Let Trish know we're gonna do a call tomorrow. You and I and our Zen doctor tomorrow at 2:00 your time. So schedule that in. I've got it all lined up. 2:00 New York time. Okay.
How about that, Trish? Okay.
I hear you. I mean, honestly, I'm in the streets of New York right now. I'm in Manhattan. I'm outside. He just said something that took the phone off mute. Zen doctor, did you say, Russ?
That's exactly right, Trish. The Zen doctor will be in the house with you and Robert and myself tomorrow at 2:00 your time. So be ready for that call. We'll be.
I have 3 words for you, sir. Let's get it.
You're welcome. Good night, everybody.
All right, everybody. Good night, and we will see you tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, we're on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you. I'll speak to you
Thanks, Rob.
tomorrow.
Good job.
Bye-bye.